Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL buzz lately, you know that the league is always in motion, but this particular story has the potential to shake up the NFC North in a pretty significant way. Rumors are swirling around the possibility of the Chicago Bears making a bold move to bolster their pass rush, and one of the names that keeps coming up is Josh Sweat from the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, you heard that right. Josh Sweat, a player who could be a game-changer for the Bears' defensive line if the deal goes through. And honestly, it might be exactly what this team needs to take that next step towards Super Bowl contention. Let me break it down for you. The NFL insider Adam Schefter recently reported that the Arizona Cardinals, sitting at 3-6 this season, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're struggling on defense, especially in pass rush. Their average pass rush grade for the 2023 season is around 23. 9 points per game, which isn't terrible. But when you look at the impact they could have with a player like Sweat, you realize that they might be willing to part ways. The Cardinals are apparently shopping Sweat in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, and they're looking to free up cap space, about $16 million, primarily to bolster their offensive line and focus on rebuilding their roster around Kyler Murray and some of their other young talents. This move would shake things up in the NFC West, no doubt, and it could give the Bears a serious boost on the defensive front. Now let's talk about Sweat himself, because he's not just any rotational player. He's a consistent, versatile edge rusher who's been making waves since he entered the league. His 2025 profile shows a guy who's played 9 games this season, with 14 solo tackles, 4 assists, and 18 combined tackles. His stats include 8 sacks for 50 yards, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Over his career, Sweat has accumulated around 50 sacks and is graded very highly by PFF, with an 84-0 grade. This guy is a proven pass rusher, and he's shown the ability to generate pressure, rack up sacks, and create turnovers. His EPA per snap is around 30, and he has a win rate of approximately 22%, with pressure numbers around 30. That's the kind of player who can consistently get to the quarterback and disrupt the offense. What makes Sweat an intriguing target for the Bears is not just his production, but his versatility. He can line up both inside and outside, which is a huge asset for a defensive coordinator trying to keep offensive lines guessing. With minimal injury concerns and a projected 12-sack season if he hits his potential, Sweat could become a cornerstone for the Bears' defense. Remember, this isn't just about one player. It's about elevating the entire pass rush unit. If Sweat joins forces with players like Yannick Ngakoue and the emerging Tryon Shoyinka, the Bears' front would become one of the most feared in the league. Now you might be asking, why would the Cardinals trade him? Well, there are a couple of logical reasons. First, their cap situation, around $16 million in space, is tight, and they need to make moves to free up cash. Second, their focus is on rebuilding around Murray, and they're also investing in extensions for players like Harrison, which means they might prioritize trading Sweat to maximize their return. The Cardinals' record at 3-6 doesn't tell the full story. They're actually allowing opponents to convert on nearly 45% of third downs, which indicates defensive struggles beyond just pass rush productivity. Moving Sweat could be seen as a way to get value in the draft while also opening up cap space for future moves. For the Bears, this potential acquisition would be a game changer. Currently, their pass rush is decent, but not quite at the elite level that can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Adding a player like Sweat could boost their sacks per game by around 1.5 and increase forced fumbles by about 10%. It would also have a ripple effect, creating more turnovers, disrupting offensive rhythm, and generating more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Remember, Chicago has been building this defense to be aggressive and versatile, and Sweat fits that mold perfectly. His ability to generate pressure and rack up double-digit sacks aligns with the team's philosophy of relentless pursuit and creating chaos on defense. When you look at the big picture, the odds for the Bears making a serious run in the playoffs could improve significantly. Currently, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 8,000, but with the addition of a player like Sweat, those odds could tighten to around plus 3,800. That's a huge jump, and it reflects the impact that a premier pass rusher can have on a team's chances. Plus, Sweat's presence would add a new dimension to the Bears' blitz schemes, making them more unpredictable and dangerous to offenses in the second half of the season. Historically, teams that can generate consistent pressure and force turnovers tend to have a better shot at making deep playoff runs, and Sweat's addition would be a big step toward that goal. Now, of course, there are some skeptics. The Cardinals are holding out for maximum value, and the Bears are cautious about overpaying in terms of draft picks or cap space. They currently have around $6 million in cap space, and while they're willing to spend to improve the team, they're also careful about not overshooting. Some analysts are skeptical about whether Sweat will fit perfectly into their defensive scheme or if the price tag will be too high. But when you look at his stats, versatility, and how he could complement the current roster, it's clear that this could be a win-win trade if the Bears are willing to pull the trigger. Imagine Sweat lining up across from the offensive tackles, forcing double teams, and helping to free up Tryon Shoyinka and others to get to the quarterback. The Bears' pass rush would become a nightmare for offenses, especially in critical third-down situations. And with the playoffs in sight, having a player with Sweat's experience and explosiveness could be the X factor that pushes Chicago over the edge. It's the kind of move that signals serious intent from this front office, showing that they're not just content with being decent, they want to be contenders. So yeah, this potential trade has the makings of a blockbuster move. It's not just about acquiring a talented player, it's about changing the narrative around the Bears' defense and making a statement to the rest of the league. If they manage to land Sweat, it could set the stage for a deep playoff run and perhaps even a shot at that elusive Super Bowl. And for us, the fans, that's what we live for, seeing our team make bold moves, improve, and fight for that Lombardi trophy. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Bears' front office has some critical decisions to make, and acquiring Sweat could be one of the best moves they make this season. It signals that they're serious about contending and aren't afraid to pull the trigger on trades that can elevate the entire team. With the right pieces in place, including Sweat, this defense could become one of the league's most feared, and the offense, already showing promise with Justin Fields, could be complemented by a defense that forces opponents into mistakes and short drives. Remember, Chicago has a passionate fan base that's been through a lot, but every year brings new hope. This season, the team has shown resilience, and that's exactly what it takes to turn things around. Adding a player like Sweat would be a statement that the Bears are in it to win it, that they're not just building for the future, but fighting for the present. And isn't that what every Bears fan wants? To see their team fighting, competing, and chasing that Super Bowl dream with everything they've got. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Sweat is the perfect piece to push the Bears over the edge? Would you be willing to see a draft pick or cap space sacrificed if it means a chance at a Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Let's keep the spirit alive, and as always, bear down.